All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarasun Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarasun Seti YouTube page, a dynamic page. Y'all know what it is. Black Power, Black Frequency. You feeling that power and frequency, you should most definitely become a member. The link is right down in the video description. Click that link. It'll give you a introduction to a video, giving you a rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarasun Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm, kingseti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarasun Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor accessories for every room in the house. We got 25% off selected items at this time. Shop and save, save and shop, kingseti.com. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com, Seti University. Over 1,200 videos of pure heat and fire presented by General Seti himself. Plus, we got the supplemental, also monumental, and instrumental research material from the Grandmaster teachers with an overview from the general on that material, giving you 360 degrees of supreme African academic wisdom and knowledge that cannot be compared to by any other website on the planet. I want you to get over there today, enroll, generalseti.com, Seti University. Everybody knows Seti popping on Patreon. BPC making noise, we never come. I dropped 2 fire presentations just yesterday. We're talking about the perverted origins of Freemasonry. Who's riding the goat? Yeah. Or is the goat riding you? Plus, we got the perverted origins of the Christmas tree. I want you over there. I want you to get that fire, dig your hand down in that treasure chest of jewels today. Patreon, General Seti. And to all the family out there donated to the general, I want to say that I thank you, and appreciate you, for donating to the general. Any of the family out there would like to donate. The link is in the video description, is in the chat. Click that link, donate, and I thank you ahead of time. You see, and make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it, share with your family and friends, and comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. Now, we dealing with Bacchus, Eros, the Christ child of perverted paganism. Okay? The Christ child of perverted paganism. Okay? And so, now, who is this Bacchus? Now, who is this Eros? Now, a lot of people don't know that you got Dionysus, which is Bacchus. You see, now I believe that Dionysus is the Roman, okay, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes I get caught up. Okay, Bacchus is Greek. So the Dionysus is the Roman expression. Okay, Bacchus is Greek and Dionysus is the Roman. Now, when you get into New Year's, what they call the New Year's baby is Dionysus. You see? Hold on, family. Yeah, so when you get into New Year's, the New Year's baby is Dionysus. So you see there that element of the Christ child, you see in these months. You feel me? Because it was no Christmas. You see, there was no Christmas. They didn't celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, the Serapis child. You see, the Serapis Christ child that they call Jesus, Jesus. They didn't celebrate his birthday. The main celebration was his resurrection. You see, so when you start talking about Saturnalia, okay, you're talking about Saturn. You're talking about Pan. You're talking about Bacchus. You're talking about Dionysus. Okay, so Dionysus is the Greek. The Roman. And Bacchus is the Greek. Okay, so the child that we know when we talk about the Christ child, and he was looked at as a Christ to the Greeks and Romans. You know, that he was looked at as a Christ figure. He is supposedly had died and resurrected. He's looked at as the deity of spring. And so in that essence, when you start talking about the resurrection of Jesus Christ being around the spring equinox, you see, so when you look at Bacchus, you look at Dionysus, you see the wreath, okay, which is symbolic. And, you know, a lot of times you see grapes, you see, because one of his symbols is grapes, which is very evident in the mass of the Catholics who have taken that, you know, that Eucharist and, you know, take this wine and, you know, and take this bread. So, see, we have to understand that ritual of wine and bread is not new at all. Even when you talk about Melchizedek, who was the one in the Bible, was the first before the Catholics, before he was not a Christian, he was not a Muslim, he was not a Jew or a Hebrew. He was a Canaanite. He was of the Hamitic bloodline, which is the African. So he was the first one that performed the ritual of, giving thanks to the Most High and all this, that, and the third, using those two elements of wine and of bread. Melchizedek. You see now, so again, so when we talking about December, you see, we talking about December, which is supposedly the 10th month, but it's not the 10th month. It's the 12th month, and I don't know how y'all can't figure that shit is out of chronological order. Deacon is 10, but it's the 12th month. Yeah, where the fuck do they do that at? You see what I'm saying? If you say put, it's 10 and motherfucker put 12 on the board, you get that wrong. You see, you get that wrong. So you got to make that shit is not synchronized at all in chronological order. Okay. But when we talk about the Saturnalia, because that holiday is the Saturnalia. That's what it is. It's the Saturnalia. Okay. It was the first festival because, like I said, they didn't celebrate no Christ birthday. Okay. But because the Catholics wanted to usurp many of the great festivals of what they quote unquote term the pagan, and they themselves are pagans. They the biggest goddamn pagans. They have adopted more paganism than any goddamn organization on the planet. When people say who is the most occult organization on the planet, it is the Catholics. They got the goddamn Jews beat with the Kabbalah. You see what I'm saying? Because they done took esoteric symbolisms and traditions from all over the goddamn world. Wherever they went, they usurped it. Okay? And so when we start talking about December, that the original Christ child coming out of the Roman Empire was Dionysus, Bacchus. Okay? And so when you look at New Year's, so when we come into New Year's, you see that the prominent deities between December and January. You got Saturn, you got Pan, as in Capricorn, because Capricorn is in both December and January. So of course you got the goat worship. Right there. As a matter of fact, it go right on into February. You see, it go right on into February with Lubakaya. You see, so you got the goat worship, you got Saturn, which is also in December, and in January. They're trying to say Uranus, but that's not original. You understand what I'm saying? That might be a modern, but original is Saturn because of the relationship that Saturn had with Janus, which is the god of January. You see, and the fact that Christians would be okay with having the birthday celebration or they so-called Serapis Jesus Christ in December, surrounded by all these other deities that they know were the original deities of them months, is showing that they okay with a certain amount of paganism. They okay with that. You understand what I'm saying? So, hey, I mean, it is what it is. Now, if you say you're Christian, and then that's okay. You know what I'm saying? You supposedly supposed to stick to the book. You ain't supposed to be, freestyling. You understand, with your religion and shit, and anything goes. Now let's get into this Dionysus, okay? And we're gonna get off into the symbolisms of New Year's before we get up off of here, because this shit need to be banned. Ain't no motherfucking way that people should be, if they understand the true symbolisms of what this is about. You see, no way. Now, when you automatically, you see right here, you got Dionysus, you got Bacchus, and he turning up a fifth of wild Irish rose. You see what I'm saying? He's turning up a fifth of wild Irish rose. Then, and then you look in the middle, you see Mary, you see Mary and the Serapis of Christ child Jesus with the Eucharist. And we already know what Eucharist is stand for, Eucharistos. You see, we're talking about Ptolemy, Eucharisto, Epiphany, Eucharistos. You understand what I'm saying? All, you got to, in this Ptolemy the fifth, his middle name is Epiphany, and his last name is Eucharistos. So you got the Epiphany and the Eucharistos in the Ptolemaic Serapis worship that the Greeks brought into Egypt. Okay, so right there you see the Eucharist, which is obviously from Bacchus. It's obvious because these is Romans. There's no way you gonna make me believe that the Catholics, that Jesus, who where it really, and we understand that early Serapis worship, later to become Christianity, was formulated in Turkey, in Constantinople, in the Byzantine Empire. This is where it was formulated. Later, for the Roman Catholics to take it over and add more goddamn paganism to it. So when we is not in any which, and then it's the Catholics that have created the modern form of Christianity, that what you see today, Christmas. The mass is the mass is the ceremonies that they perform every Sunday in the Catholic Church, Mass. So you got Christmas. So there's no doubt about it that even the terminology is Roman. So the Roman Catholics, so they already had a Christ child. You see, under Saturn. And matter of fact, Dionysus and Bacchus is every festival, because they drink. You see, and everybody, they got to have their drinks. You see, they can't get away from having their drinks. You see what I'm saying? So, he is a god of choice. And so here you see him more of a teenage. And so you see the same areas, as far as age. You see Jesus as a child. And then, you know, the next time you see him, he's about 12 years old. You see, and then there's a gap. He goes from 12 to being damn near 30. So you got 18 years that just missing. You see, just missing in his life. So you see the chalice, in which they call the Eucharist, you see, is ancient in Egypt long before Mass and communion, as you can see Bacchus with the chalice, okay? And, you know, and so, you know, and I said that to, you know, to say that you will even see, you know, I mean, all rituals have some form of water, and so you're gonna have a chalice, okay? But in the Greco-Roman, and you it is called the Eucharist. In the Roman Catholic, it is called the Eucharist. Okay, and obviously you can see this symbol is of the Roman Catholic Church. You see the Eucharist, the cup, you see the bread, but you also see the grapes. And so you see there that, and you can look into Bacchus and Dionysius' headdress, and even in his hair, you see the grapes there. So you see these are icon symbolisms that were already attributed to Dionysus and Bacchus. So there's nothing new in Christ. There's nothing new in the Serapis Christ. He's adopted symbolisms that have been attached to pagan, so-called pagan deities long before the concept of Serapis Jesus even came into being. Okay, and so you see here. Now this is the older. I'm gonna get back to the child Bacchus, but the symbolisms is the same. It says in the Bible, I'm the true vine. This is what the Serapis Jesus said. I'm the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. So right there, when you talk about the vine, you're talking about the grapes. So yeah, so who is his father? Who is his father? You understand what I'm saying? Saturn, that's who his damn father is. That's who his father is. You see? Saturn, in some instances, is Zeus. Yeah, he's a composite deity. So you see right here. Now, the crazy thing about it, because we get to talking about Dionysus, we get to talking about Pan, and you know, and Pan and Dionysus is like, you know, they always together. You understand? Because Pan is the perverted goat god, and so, you know, in all of their celebrations, they perverted. Okay, and then they drinking at the same time. So if you got Dionysus and you got Pan there, you goddamn, to them, they got all they need to be the perverted motherfuckers they want to be. And so it ain't no goddamn, it ain't no festival if Pan and Dionysus ain't. If the drink ain't there and the perverted goat, horny goat god ain't there, then it ain't no festival. So those two deities by far are two of the most popular deities in all of Rome and Greece, by far. Okay, by far. And so you see again here that I'm showing you multiple symbolisms of the Catholic Church, where they show the Eucharist, the chalice with the grapes. And you see here now what I meant to say, that Bacchus and Pan had become so, you know, a combination of you know, where they had to have those two, that they would just combine them. So you think you looking at Pan, and literally you looking at Dionysus. I say, well, damn, that looked just like Pan. He's a horn god with the grape. They just combined them. So that's Dionysus and Pan together. You see a composite deity, and you can see here, you know, the grapes in the hair of Dionysus, and so on and so forth. Okay. And so now it's crazy, because they even got this mosaic coming from Cyprus. Now it says it's dated to the 300s AD. Okay. And Rome was still, you know, it was still standing at that time. I don't think Rome as the Western branch of Rome, which was ruled, or the Roman Empire, I should say, because you had two branches. You had the Western branch and you had the Eastern branch. Now, the Western branch was ruled from the city of Rome, where the Eastern branch was ruled from the city of Constantinople. So I believe it fell, the city of Rome fell in the 400s. Okay, so at 300 AD, Rome was still it was still in existence. It was still in existence. It still wasn't the capital, but it was in existence. So you see here that at this time, Dionysus is the one. That is the Christ child with the halo. Okay? Christ child with the halo. You would think that's Jesus. No, that's not Jesus. That's Dionysus. Okay? You know, that's Dionysus. And so that's very, very interesting that all of the attributes of Dionysus have not been adopted for the Serapis Christ child, Jesus Christ. Ain't that something? Now, the other thing that many of them child deities in the Roman Catholic Church, in the Roman Empire, Eros, which is by far, some of the sickest shit I've ever heard of, where you got a damn baby that is the god of erotic love. And I don't understand nothing about none of that garbage that they talking about. You see, Eros, rooted in erotic. Now, what the fuck is going on there? You see, what the fuck is going on there? Many aspects. You see Bacchus, you see Dionysus turning up wine and shit. Got a jug of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Crushing grapes and shit. What's going on there? This is some crazy shit. And as far as and he's there at all of the, now the crazy thing about it, as we look here and we see Bacchus and Dionysus, that the most foul of all the damn festivals of the Romans was the Bacchanalia. I say, what the fuck? Of all the, even fouler than the damn Saturnalia. You understand what I'm saying? They had the Bacchanalia in secrecy. You had to be invited to the Bacchanalia, and it became so perverted and so outlandish that the Roman government, as wicked as they is, banned the motherfucking Bacchanalia. So so that right there, if the Romans banned it and they didn't ban Saturnalia, oh my God, they had to been in that motherfucker like sick. They had, and like they say, sick with it. They was in there sick with it. You feel me? And so the most foul of all festivals was named after this child deity. Now they show a older deity, but most of the time, when you see imagery of the Bacchanalia and Saturnalia, and you see many times he's a child. Yeah, they show him as an adult. But they show many carvings and paintings and shit where he's a child. They in there wilding out. They doing all kind of wild shit. Pan and goddamn Dionysus like best friends. You understand what I'm saying? Even as a child, they show Pan with Dionysus, and I say this shit ain't right. That this shit ain't right. We got to deal with this shit, man. But, and I'm gonna talk about this later. These are the symbols that you're using today for New Year's, for Valentine's Day, Lupercalia. Yeah. Whether you call him Cupid or you call him Eros, you see? Or you call him Bacchus, and many of them are interchangeable at different times. They're interchangeable. So, family, when we start talking about these, this Christmas Saturnalia, and we're talking about New Year's, understand that New Year baby is that deity right there, Dionysus, Bacchus. You understand what I'm saying? And there is some far over the top, you see, symbolisms. Man, it's beyond immoral. You see? So, I mean, what you gonna do, nigga? Most motherfuckers, if certain shit you just can't let get by. You can't let that get by. If I tell you something and I can back it up and you can go do the research and back it up, certain shit that's so over the top, beyond immoral, and I see you and you continue to engage in that aspect, some things are less. You understand what I'm saying? It's paganism, but it ain't as, it ain't as immoral. It's stupid because it's somebody else's culture. It ain't got nothing to do with you. But I can only charge you for being stupid. But some of this shit is over the top. And you can be charged with more than being stupid. You see, you're being charged with being an accessory to some immoral shit. You better think about it. Because if I catch you, nigga, I'm going to wake your ass up. All right? This is General Sarasun said. He said, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education, man. We got a hell of a lineup tonight. Go to Sarasun said. If you're on my page, just go to the main page, front page, and see the lineup we got. Don't let them trick you out of your knowledge tonight. And make sure you're in the house. Black Power.